Next under the principal's report is the professional development summary. It's on board book, page 7. This is an annual report that we typically give in January and June. It began about 4 years ago. It's to clarify about how much money we were being spent to assist the teachers in improving their instruction. So this year there are 4 categories. The first is Title I, which is a federal grant that allows us to spend that money on at-risk professional development. So professional development that helps support the academic achievement of our at-risk students. It's based solely on the number of free and reduced lunch students that we have. Title II is our general professional development account. It's also a federal grant, and that's geared towards improving student achievement. That amount you'll see is a little higher than what we typically see because we had some rollover money from last year. Teachers said that they were going to go to conferences and then they had conflicts arise and they didn't go, and so that money does roll over. Title IV is a new grant this year. It's a federal grant established under ESSA, which is Every Student Succeeds Act. That replaced the No Child Left Behind Act, if you're familiar with that. It has several purposes. One of them is it allows for the professional development of technology. So we utilized a portion of that grant to pay for some professional development for technology. And then lastly, the unclaimed tuition is something that's in our collective bargaining agreement, and you can see that we have a projection for that. So if you look at the actual report, you can see under Title I, we have not spent a lot of that money yet. And you can see that we have spent $1,735 of the money that we had allocated. And so we have about $15,000 left to spend in that account. In Title II, we categorize requests under 4 categories: technology, Common Core Standards or SAT, AP conferences, and school and department goals. And so we had a little over $40,000 of Title II money available, and we've already spent a little over $12,000. One thing to note with this is that AP conferences typically occur in the summer. So second semester, you'll really see that section of the report grow because that's when the information comes out and the requests come in for that. Title IV, we allocated $500 for professional development for technology, and we have allocated that already. And then unclaimed tuition reimbursement requests, that's primarily used for summer curriculum time, where teachers work on curriculum projects that we approve. And that we get the exact amount in March after all the tuition reimbursement requests have been approved. And so that's when that process starts. So that's why it's marked as 0 at this time. Are there any questions on this report?
I had a question. So on page 8, section D, the first one is Rick Wormelli, SBR. Are we exploring SBR? Are we?
We're exploring our current grading practices in the building.
I'm sorry.
Standards-based grading.
Standards-based reporting, yeah.
So we're not necessarily exploring that in the traditional sense, but we are, as a building, looking at our current grading practices and how we can get them more consistent, and looking at how we can maybe adopt some of his practices that we believe in, but we're not going to standards-based grading.
Okay. And then that's only one person going to ISTE?
Could you say it in English so we know what you're
ISTE,
Title
it's
IV.
the international, I'm sorry, page 9, the Title IV Technology. ISTE is the International Conference for Technology and Education. It's being held here in Chicago. So it's an international conference in our backyard where you get world-class professional development on technology and all those things related to that. And I was just wondering, is that one person? I think it is.
I believe so. I believe right now just our instructional technology coordinator
Just
is the one
Bridget.
that has requested it, yeah. It doesn't mean other people won't go, but I know that
I would hope that-
she put in for it right
I would
as
hope
soon as
that
the
you would
information came
encourage
out.
more staff members, if there's money for it, to go, because it's outstanding, right? Mm-hmm. I'll be there.
I was going to ask a question. You list all the programs we go to, but you don't say who. So it's purely like who puts their name in gets to go to the programs? I mean, if I look at one like on page 8B for Common Core Illinois Association English Teachers Annual Conference, would we send all the English teachers there? Will we only send the department coach, or, you know, how do you decide?
So it's the teachers that request. So for example, the National Council of Teachers in Mathematics Annual Conference is held over 3 days, but 2 of them are more significant than the third. And so one day we sent half the department, and the other day we sent the other half of the department. So it's really driven by the conference, and it's really driven by the requests of the staff that want to attend those
Well,
conferences.
don't you help drive it? If I'm a math teacher who needs some additional help, in your opinion, do you come to me and say, I think you should go to this conference and try to get?
Yes, we do that
So
as well.
it's- So it's not just the staff members asking for it, the administrator could also go and say, we think this would be a good conference for you? Okay.
We'll recommend new teachers teaching a new AP course to go to the AP conference.
Okay.
Do those things.
All right.
Thanks, Kristen.